This is Geek Revolution Radio,
a show for geeks by geeks. Hello and welcome to another edition of Geek Revolution Radio. I am your host, Ryan Bennett, and with me as always, Will Hatton.
Oh yeah, here over the interwebs.
And we are back. It is 2016. We're in a fresh new year. So we have a Star Wars movie behind us. We've got a Star Wars movie ahead of us. It's really the vortex that I dreamed
Star
of.
Wars and I got you said Star Wars and I got tingles. So I get so excited even now.
Can you imagine if when we were kids we were like, there's a time where there will be a Star Wars movie you just saw and another one within a year.
Right.
Here we are. We're back kind of permanently now. We discussed it and kind of we're going to keep doing shows. Pretty much until I don't know when, indefinitely. So thanks for listening to us. We did see a lot of you guys interacting with us on our Facebook page last week or two since our last episode. Saw a lot of people are downloading the episode. So if you're hearing this, thank you for downloading our show. Folks. Big shout out to our friends. They really so our friend Mike
we
over
still
at
have friends.
The other Mike and Mike show and Knights of the Octagon. He gave us a big shout out, and I literally watched our numbers like go whoop up the scale a little bit.
Nice.
And it's nice because we share a lot of the, I guess, common listeners, and a lot of them, obviously didn't know that we were back. So thanks to them. And if you don't listen to them, go to theothermikes.com or kotomma.com and listen to their shows. The Other Mics is just kind of a funny show with Mike and Mike, essentially, and they just talk about whatever funny things are going on.
Funny things that are happening.
Yeah, and then Koto MMA is kind of their UFC mixed martial arts fighting podcast. They interview a lot of really fun people, so check them out. I like both their shows. So
nice.
Anyway, what have you been up to in the new year, Will? What's going on?
So I just kind of working. Like I worked through the holidays. I fortunately had Christmas Day off, so that was nice. But I had to go into work on New Year's Eve day and New Year's Day.
Ah, man.
It wasn't so bad. We got off early on New Year's Eve day.
Oh, that's good.
New Year's Day. So I recently just got promoted. I'm an associate producer at Fox 34 here in Lubbock.
Oh, he's a newsman.
I mean, it sounds like, honestly, associate producer, it sounds really cool. It sounds like I'm important, but really I just run the teleprompter.
Well, hey, somebody's got to run the teleprompter, and if you ask Steve Harvey, it's a pretty important job, right?
Yes, that's very true. No, I mean, honestly, I think it's more than that. I do a lot to help out. I'm learning it right now because I'm new to it. But news is like 365. I mean, they had a Christmas broadcast. So I didn't have to go in for work on Christmas, but They do it like every day.
They're doing it, huh? So my first question is have you identified the Ron Burgundy of The Office yet?
We don't. I don't know. It's interesting trying to draw connections. There's definitely not any of those guys at my office.
Oh, really?
I work for the morning show, so it's kind of news. It's kind of
you gotta have
kind
it
of
together.
laid back. They have a entertainment and kind of chatting. Like they sit at a little chairs in a little corner sometimes, so it doesn't look so newsy,
right?
But our weatherman is on point. He's pretty cool.
That's good.
He's probably the one that helped me get promoted, so I like our weatherman.
Good, yeah.
Mad props to Matt. So
give him promote Will. That should be a new hashtag.
Yeah.
So I got spoiled. Over the break, I work for a company that closes. I work for those of you who don't know, I'm a software developer at General Motors, and they close on Christmas Eve, and their entire company is shut down until after New Year's Day. So every year we get about 16 holidays a year once you factor in that week and a half there. So that's nice. Yeah, it's awesome because they're essentially ruining me for. If I ever go work anywhere else, I'm going to be like, it's going to be part of our, hey, I got to have that week off. What do you mean I
don't get a full week off?
Homie, don't work between Christmas and New Year's anymore. It's really awesome. And, spent some time with the family and got Geek Revolution Radio
awesome.
back together. Me and you did. So there you go. So how's the family doing? Everything going good over there out in Lubbock? You guys got snow, right?
Yeah, family's good. Yeah, we got a blizzard. Oddly enough, we were thinking about doing an episode last week, but it was a weird time in Lubbock. There was a blizzard. Like it was like the Snowmageddon type, words that get thrown around. Like
Texans use that word every time it snows. Yeah. Snow,
I mean, literally, they were hashtag Winter Storm Goliath.
Wow.
That was the common phrase. Yeah, we got a lot of snow. It's actually like 55 today, so it's like almost all melted.
Oh wow.
And it's like so weird. Like that's how Texas is. You'll get like 6 inches of snow, and then a week later it'll be like 65.
Well, I think nationally we've been getting some pretty strange weather because Mike ironically over on the other mics was talking about how it was, like really warm in New York City where he's located, in New Jersey, New York. And I've got coworkers out in Phoenix that said it was like below freezing in Phoenix. So I think it's due to this El Nino thing, but I'm not really sure. All I know is it's nice in Austin, like all the time. So
cool.
It gets down to 50,
Austin's
and that's about
nice.
as cold as it gets. So
we try to go to Austin as often as we can, just because it's such a fun town. We're actually going to try to go out there in April. There's a band, but Anna and I like a lot. We're going to go try to see it. Plus, her birthday's in April, so it kind of helps to kind of like, hey, let's do this vacation for your birthday.
Well, South by is coming up too, right? Isn't that usually like April around that time?
It might
South
be.
by
I can't remember. I have to look it up. Yeah. I'll look it up while we discuss it.
I guess while we're discussing kind of what we've been up to, I got a chance last October to do kind of the Austin thing, and I went to the Austin city limits, and I got to tell you,
Austin city limits is pretty dang cool.
It's worth a trip. If y'all are ever thinking about coming, you should. I've been to a lot of music, and I've seen a lot of bands live, and I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, in say 2008, I went to Austin city limits and had a blast. Like I got like a media pass.
Oh, nice.
So I didn't have to pay. I got right in. I got to take a camera and take like really cool pictures. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we took our daughter. She was, I don't know, 11 months old at the time. Yeah, and man, she had a blast. Like she thought it was the greatest. She was really like surprisingly into it. Like we stayed all day. We went all day Friday and all day Sunday. And on Friday, Foo Fighters played at the end of the night. They were the headliner. And
sweet,
man, she loved the Foo Fighters. she was sitting on my shoulders, having a great time, waving her hands around, and people behind us were taking pictures because they're like, "There's a baby here," And it was.
Did you buy those little baby headphones?
No, we're.
No, you just kind of stay back a little bit.
Didn't seem like the Austin thing to do. They're like kind of, I don't know, very hipsterish out here. And I was like, if you get the baby headphones,
I always thought it was interesting when I saw that in Salt Lake. You'd see like parents with their baby at concerts.
Well, I could see if it was like an indoor show, but this is outdoors, and it's in a Zilker Park, for those of you who don't know.
It's gigantic.
It's a huge park, and it's not overly loud, especially when you're, we weren't sitting down, we weren't like way in the back, but we were somewhere in the middle, standing. She had to be on my shoulder so she could see, but it wasn't that loud.
Yeah. So South by Southwest, by the way, is this March, from March 10th to the 20th. Nice. So we'll just miss it. We might have to go to that too. I mean,
I'm hoping
honestly,
to get in some films this year. I think I didn't catch any last year.
If you just go to South by Southwest website, it shows you just a kind of graph that shows you what's going on. I mean, they've got a job market, a trade show, a gaming expo, on top of the fact that it's also a film festival and a music conference. Conference/festival. So I mean, it's like 10 days of
a lot of people
entertainment. Well, it's a lot of fun. Like we went last year and had a blast.
So let's talk about speaking of movies. What were some of what were some of your favorite movies that you saw kind of in the last year or so?
I really got to think about it. I'm trying to remember, what movies did I see?
Pixar hit another one out of the park with Inside Out, right? I mean,
we rented it my mom got it for us when it came out on DVD, Blu-ray. Loved it. Like I didn't get to see it in theaters, really wanted to, but it's like an all around. It's funny, it's heartfelt, it's emotional, it's very educational.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really liked that one. I liked Jurassic World. I thought
that was kind of came out of
for what it,
yeah.
I
thought it came out of nowhere. I mean, it destroyed the box office.
Yeah, it did. And it just you think about like, oh my goodness, like I wouldn't, like, I was excited about it. I mean, I love Star Wars. I remember going and seeing it, I remember seeing Jurassic Park when I was like 10 with my dad, and I remember like having to cover my eyes for different scenes. And I remember like then going and buying the book and reading the book that summer and getting like really into it, really loving it. So I've always been a real big fan of Jurassic Park. I thought, the second movie really let me down because I read the book first.
Oh yeah, anyone that's read The Lost World hates the movie, but I never read the book, so I loved the movie. I was like, holy cow, there's a T-Rex in the city. This is amazing.
Yeah. And it kind of ruined it for me, and so I look back and I'm like, it's not so bad. But because of that deep love, I was like really excited about Jurassic World, and it came out. I was really impressed with it. We only got to see it once, but we saw it in the theater, and then we picked it up on Blu-ray just before, I guess right after Christmas. And man, it's such a fun, like kind of like Star Wars. It is exactly what it needed to be to kind of reboot the whole thing. Not reboot, maybe reboot's the wrong word, but to start off the next series of, I would assume they're going to make more Jurassic Park, just like they're going to make more Star Wars. I mean, they've already started working on the sequel. So
I mean, it was fun. It wasn't too. It was what's his name? Andy Dwyer from what's his name?
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. He's great. Yeah, he's really great.
He's killing it. Like he's the guy, the go-to guy. People love him. I loved him in Guardians of the Galaxy. That's probably one of my favorite Marvel movies to date.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy was one of those movies where we talked about on this show a while ago, but I was like, yeah, there's a raccoon with a machine gun. I'm definitely going. But as far as you're talking about return on your investment, man, that movie was way better than I thought it was going to be.
Oh yeah. There's two other movies that really stand out to me from 2015. A lot of buzz around this one, especially Oscar buzz, but Mad Max Fury Road.
I was just about to bring it up.
Oh, that was such a good movie.
It was good. It feels like this generation's Waterworld in a way. Where it's just so out there.
My brother-in-law and I went and saw it, and my wife and my sister-in-law went and saw Pitch Perfect 2. So we went to see the guy movie, they went and saw the girl movie, and we were both, like, all four of us were pretty satisfied.
Yeah. No kidding. I really liked it. I mean, it was one of those things where it's way out there, and visually, I mean, I didn't see it until I saw it in my home. I never saw it in the theater, but I was like, yeah, this is a movie that I probably would have liked to have seen in IMAX 3D or just IMAX. Even, it would have been a good one, but yeah, visually it was a great movie.
I mean, I just thought it was all around good. I thought the story was compelling. The cinematography was amazing, I thought. It was very, very visual, very captivating. And it was just, it was a good apocalyptic action movie.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to see The Martian?
I did actually. Yeah, we did. We went and saw that. I really liked The Martian too. I thought it was pretty awesome.
God bless Matt Damon, man.
I mean, he needs some help. He keeps getting in situations where he needs to be rescued.
Gosh, he's good though. He's good at getting rescued. Like
I love, those like the I don't know who does them. It's like nerds somewhere that compile like statistics or figure, like fictional numbers. Like somebody compiled a thing where it said how much money has been spent saving Matt Damon, and it was like $100 billion. It was just like situations where Matt Damon was like it went through like each movie and said like how much it would cost to do this or how much it would cost to do that, like Saving Private Ryan, the soldiers had to go and get him and all this stuff, and so it's just really funny.
Another movie that I thought, I'm just kind of flipping through the Entertainment Weekly best and worst of 2015.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
One that I thought, going back to Disney Pixar, The Good Dinosaur for me was, if it would have been an okay movie, I guess it would have been a fine movie, but because it was a Pixar movie, it was by far the worst of the Pixar movies. Now that doesn't mean that I hated it. It was fine. It was fine. It was fine.
Really near that the top,
but it was not. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. What you expect from Pixar at all. I didn't think.
One of my viewings of Star Wars was at the drive-in, and they did a double feature with The Good Dinosaur.
Oh, wow.
And we debated about staying or not, and we decided not to. We were just really tired, and Hazel just really wasn't into it, and so we left. And
I don't feel like it's one of those movies. Maybe, I mean, it's made for the kids, and maybe the kids will really like it a lot. But for me, I would never watch it again. You know what I mean? Nothing. It wasn't really that exciting.
It was just okay. Yeah. Yeah. Age of Ultron, Avengers. I thought was.
Yeah.
I'm like kind of in the middle. I'm like not warm, not cold about it. I liked it. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it.
It didn't hit. It wasn't as awesome as the first one.
No,
I'll give it that. But I still liked it. I mean, it's still.
I liked it.
Considering
thought it was really
how many characters they're dealing with in that universe,
they've got like so many characters vying for screen time. It's like, it's kind of difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was. It kind of felt. I mean, I can see why Joss Whedon's like doesn't really want to do another one. Somebody's going to do the next one, but
I regardless, I'm still excited about Captain America, Civil War.
Yeah. I'm excited for that more than I was for the Avengers, I think.
I think you're right too. And I think because I've read the comic book of this, I have an idea probably how it's going to go. I'm really excited to see how they do it in lieu of, the rest of the movies, because they're still going to have the,
they're basically just Avengers movies now, right? I mean, it's called Captain America: Civil War, but they're all the usual suspects are there.
What's the actual Avengers of the next movie? It's like
the third one.
It's like a two-part. Can't remember what it's called. It's like
the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, Infinity Gauntlet, part 1 and 2. Yeah. Like, I feel like everything's really just feeding into those two movies.
Yeah, it's definitely building up to that. I mean, it's funny because there's been so many movies, even the last Thor movie, where they kind of wink and hint at kind of what's to come, kind of a thing. So, that's what's exciting about it, I guess, for me. Like that's what was cool in Age of Ultron, was like, wow, they brought this guy to life that. This Jarvis basically brought to life. I'm like, and that's an Infinity Stone on his head, like the gauntlet don't work unless you've got them all. So
so Avengers, I don't know if I could say this with full-heartedly, but I liked Ant-Man a lot. I don't want to come out and say I liked it more than Avengers, but I liked it a lot.
I have not seen Ant-Man yet.
Really?
No, not yet. I want to. I didn't see it in the theater.
It just like things like that's the reality of life, especially with having a kid.
Yeah,
you gotta pick and choose what you can go.
But I'm looking forward to it because it's just us out here in Austin. We don't have any family here or anything like that.
Right.
And but my grandma's actually moving here.
Oh, okay.
And that'll be like in February. So this summer I should, me and my wife, we should be pretty free and clear to drop the kid off at grandma's house and go check out some films. So I'm pretty excited, Ant-Man would have been one of those that I would have, in normal circumstances, definitely would have seen. Just flew under the radar.
I've just heard mixed reviews about it. Some people liked it, some people just thought it was okay, and some people didn't think it was very good.
I heard everyone I heard from liked it, so I actually didn't hear anything bad about it. So.
Movies that I didn't see that I heard were just awful. Sadly, Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
See it.
I didn't go see it intentionally because I don't support what Fox and Sony are doing with basically putting out these garbage movies just because they don't want the rights to go back to Marvel.
Yeah, it is kind of stupid, and the reality is it was really weird. Like the whole time when I heard that they were going to redo it, I was like, oh, this is stupid. This is going to be horrible. Then I saw the trailers and I thought they seem somewhat compelling. They've made the trailers look captivating enough. But then like the week leading up to it, the 2 weeks leading up to it, I just kept hearing just awful reviews.
Once the critics saw
saying,
it was done. It was a dead fish in the water.
Literally the and then you start hearing the stories about the director and like all this stuff. Like apparently
Miles Teller like almost walking off set and like.
Well, apparently he got like addicted to drugs and like prostitutes, something like that.
Like
something to that degree.
Like you do, I guess.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that one needs to do the route of Spider-Man and Sony and just give the rights back to them, get your cut.
Well, and this is Fox. This is Fox that's playing hard to get.
Oh, that's right. Fox has them. That's right.
Fox is the ones that are like making these horrible. They're making the they put out Fantastic Four just so they could hang on to the rights because they didn't want to team up with Marvel like Sony did with Spider-Man. Because he's going to be in Civil War, and I've actually just this week heard people that have seen the movie because it's coming out very soon, and they said that the guy they got for the new Spider-Man is absolutely amazing in Captain America Civil War.
Nice.
Because it's Marvel's wheelhouse. It's what they do, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, to be honest with you, because of the way Fox is treating their properties they think they own, or maybe they technically do own them, I'm kind of getting burned out on the X-Men as well.
I'm not. I'm really excited about X-Men Apocalypse. I liked Days of Future Past.
Yeah, I liked it, but I would like to see. I'd like to see them merge with the Marvel universe. You know, where
it's a thing that needs to happen just for the fans' sake. You know, and if Fox could ever just realize if they do the right thing and they give it over, they probably could make more money with it. I think. You know, if they get their cut, you know, that's what it's all about. Is they want the money behind it, but you know, if Marvel gives them a cut from every movie that has an X-Men character in it, you know, that's a cut, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I like a world where you know, everyone gets together and Disney does the right thing
for fans. Yeah,
they do. You know, they make stuff that's the right for the fans, not this corporate mumbo jumbo stuff they're doing. You know. Let's transition to TV, shall we, for 2015?
Yeah, absolutely.
Netflix had a big year, right?
Holy cow. They're killing it. They really are killing it in terms of quality, everything around it. Like, I loved the Daredevil series.
Oh, it was so good.
Probably one of my favorite TV shows from last year.
It was so good.
Out of everything, not just superhero, but everything.
Well, so Netflix hit on kind of a bunch of cylinders for me. They had that. They had the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and they had Masters of None.
That is so funny, dude. That show is so funny.
It's so funny. And Masters of None that Aziz did was really funny. Like,
I still need to see that.
We binge watched the whole thing in like a day and a half. We watched the whole thing.
Really? Yeah. I need to watch it.
It's so
I hear really good things about it.
Yeah, Netflix, honestly, me and Sammy, we're so tired of dealing with Dish. We have Dish, and we're so tired. It's like we can just like watch our bill creep up every single month, and it's getting like it's insanely expensive now. And we just finally said to ourselves, why are we doing this? Like, short of The Walking Dead, that's really the only thing that we like really, really want to watch that's on satellite right when it comes out. And if we really want to see it that bad, we can just buy the season on, you know, iTunes or whatever, as they come out for $30 or whatever it is for the entire season, instead of paying, you know, I think we're up somewhere close to $100 a month for Dish, and it's just keep going up. You know.
Yeah, I have DirecTV, and our bill's not bad, but I'm with you. Like, I keep hearing all these reports about how people are cutting the satellite dish, the cable.
We're very close. I'll tell you that, Will. As a matter of fact, probably by March, this guy's probably going to be cutting cable for sure, and getting himself, you know, Hulu subscriptions and whatever else, because
well, you know, and the thing with cable that, like, I read a report the other day, the thing with cable that has kept them strong in terms of keeping people connected or keeping people loyal to it is live sports.
Mm-hmm.
And ESPN recently is releasing that they're going to start doing a subscription service like the premium channels have been doing.
That's what we do with HBO. Like, I love watching everything on HBO. I just barely, my mom that used to be on this show, she I talked to her, I was like, you have Dish or whatever you have, why don't you get a subscription? I'll pay for half of it, and then I'll just HBO Go it and watch it on my Chromecast. My Chromecast for my TV, I turn on the app on my phone, or I log into my PlayStation 4 and HBO Go's right there. And I would much rather watch it that way than watching it through my cable provider anyway.
Dude, I love HBO. Their shows are really good too. Yeah. But this year they had a total flop, a total loss.
Oh, what was that?
True Detective season 2.
Oh man, I didn't know.
I don't even.
You had to bring it up.
I had to. It was like, we're talking about HBO, and then all of a sudden it was like, ding. Let's talk about something awful.
Yeah. So I'm totally with you. Like, the first season of that show might be the single best season of TV. I mean, I'd put it up there against Breaking Bad any day of the week. Yeah, I think between that and Breaking Bad, TV does not get better than the first season of True Detective or the last couple seasons of Breaking Bad.
You're grabbing your seat rest or whatever, your arm rest. You're like, what's going to happen next?
Cut to
who's the Yellow King?
Cut to the second season. Like, it's 10 episodes. I'm 5 episodes in, trying to go, what is going on? Why do I care about any of these characters? I don't understand. They're detectives. They're trying to find this random guy that they found on a bench. I don't even care about.
Yeah.
Like, who is he?
They didn't that wasn't even the focus of the show, really. I felt like they were doing other things. And I literally, for 9 episodes, tried to give it the benefit. I was like, you know what? Maybe it's a thing where you just have to take it all together. And by the time that Vince Vaughn was walking through the desert, spoiler for anybody that wants to go through and torture themselves that hasn't already,
it's been
watched season
time.
2.
If you haven't seen it,
don't watch it. Yeah, don't watch it. By the time Vince Vaughn's walking through the desert, I'm just like, I don't even care. This is supposed to be very heartfelt and very,
well, the thing about
emotional.
it is like the series could have saved itself a little bit for me and not been quite as bad had Vince Vaughn's character survived a little bit, because honestly, his character was the only one I even cared a little bit about, because he had a little bit of a redemption story at least. Yeah.
I hated it. Like, that's a word that I don't generally use for
this is how I explain it. The entire season, the entire second season of True Detective felt like the last 10 minutes of Dexter just on repeat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's, to me, I was just like, I don't care. This is stupid. This could have been so much better than it was. Why are they doing this? I just, I did not like it at all. On the flip side of HBO, though, Silicon Valley.
Oh my goodness, that show was so funny. You guys were telling me about it last year. We all got together for South by Southwest, actually.
Yeah, we were at South by Southwest in last spring.
And you guys were saying, oh, dude, Silicon Valley is so funny, so great. And I went home and literally binge watched the first season before season 2 came out. And I loved it right away. And then I said to my wife, I was like, it's guy humor, but I think you would like it.
My wife loves it. I mean, TJ Miller does not get better. I mean,
yeah, she went and watched it. She loves it. It's one of the funniest shows on TV right now.
Oh, definitely. I mean, and it's funny because we talk about what are the funniest shows, and we kind of glanced over it. HBO, which I watch on demand, and Netflix, which is only on demand. You have. For me, I mean, the 3 best comedy series out there are Silicon Valley, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and Masters of None. And once you watch Master of None, we'll talk about it, because those 3 shows are the 3, in my opinion, 3 funniest shows on TV. Well, I should say they're not on TV, right? I mean, they're on.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. Like, they're on your phone, they're on your computer,
on the internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to ask, Entertainment Weekly, right out of the gate, is calling on 2 shows as the 2 best of the year. And I don't know if you've seen either of them. I haven't seen either of these shows. Have you seen Fargo?
Fargo is awesome.
I need to get into it.
I thought the second season was just okay. I thought the first season was really good. The second one, It was good, I would say. Whereas in the first season was like a 9, the second season's maybe an 8.
Okay, well that's good enough for me. Anything I watch Teen Mom, so anything above that. And then the other one is Mr. Robot, another show that I have not seen.
Oh my goodness, dude! Seriously, tonight, don't do anything. Don't whatever you like. Just watch the first episode.
So you're saying okay? So you're saying this is my weekend? I would just go get Mr. Robot.
I would say it's up there with Daredevil for the year, for my favorite of the year.
Nice.
I want to say it's up there with just anything like, good quality Justified, Breaking Bad, any good quality television show. I was really impressed with it.
Now I want to ask you this, Will, and I have a feeling you've seen this one. How did you like, or how did it feel going down Better Call Saul?
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I thought it
was entertaining. I thought it was captivating. I thought it was not what I expected, because I thought they were going to do like a slapstick type. I'm Saul, I'm a crazy lawyer, but it was like this story of how he became who he was.
It has a real Breaking Bad feel to it, right?
Yeah.
For me, it's like, wow, this is moving towards those kind of dark undertones, where they sprinkle in humor. It feels like obviously Vince Gilligan's making this one too. It feels like the same kind of show, and it's in the same universe, which is really interesting.
Yeah,
I can't wait for it to come back. I can't wait for season 2. I mean, they did a short run of 6 or 8 episodes, however many it was for the first season.
Yeah, it was kind of short, but it was very, very good.
This is how I knew it was going to be good, though. Before it even came out, they showed the whole season, of course, to AMC, and AMC renewed it for 2 more seasons, for season 2 and 3, before it even came out, and they saw, okay, how many people are watching it? They just watched it and said, yeah, we're gonna make some more of this for sure. I mean, it was great.
I loved it.
Funny,
definitely.
I just flipped to the next page, and worst shows of the year, number 1, True Detective.
Yeah,
it's so funny how different that show is, though, from season to season. And for those of you listening that maybe haven't seen it, you don't have to have seen season 1 to watch season 2, and vice versa.
I love that shows are starting to do that. Like American Horror has kind of set that standard. Which American Horror, I don't like it. I stopped watching it.
Yeah, I stopped watching it too. Season 1 was so good on that show.
Season 1 was good. Season 2 was okay.
I suffered through season 2. And then I couldn't do season 3, or I think
I didn't even watch the 4th one, and I watched the first episode of season 5. And I was like, nope,
not for me.
I'm not going to do this.
Okay, so we haven't talked about these. You've obviously delved into the HBO waters. Like the rest of us. What did you think of the Jinx?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the Jinx?
That I did. That dude is horrible. That dude is guilty. There's like, whereas in, I don't want to give like spoilers away, because we're going to talk about.
We should probably save
a show. We're going to do a show on true crime, because I think people geek out about true crime. Yeah. I mean, I do.
Yeah, I do. I didn't even know I was a fan of true crime until Making a Murderer came out.
There's a podcast called Serial.
Oh, I've heard about it.
It's very good. I definitely say go and listen, because it's a great show. But you leave season 1 going, I really don't know if this guy is guilty or not. There's a show on Netflix, Making a Murderer. We're gonna have to talk about that here in a minute or two.
The thing about it is I liked the Jinx, but I was like, well, maybe I just like the Jinx because I like documentaries.
Oh yeah.
And then I saw Making a Murderer, and Making a Murderer, I blew through. We watched that in a day, like beginning to end. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm just like I'm just a fan of these kind of crime type things, especially when they're documentary style. I just like them.
Yeah, these shows are really good. They're captivating. They're filmed really well. Yeah. I do feel like the producers and directors have an objective. They're swaying an audience, but it's still done in a way that it's not, outright bias or like, we're not going to tell you the truth.
I don't know how you, I mean, if you're going to go with that argument, then Robert Durst was the one that swayed the audience in the Jinx, basically saying off camera, like, yeah, I did it.
he shot himself in the foot on that one. There's no oh man, the director, he really tried to make it look like he did it. No, this guy did it himself.
It was funny. That episode came out on a Sunday and he was arrested 3 days later. California was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Right.
We got to get this guy. Okay, so
that's the thing. Like the whole time he's being interviewed, you're like, what is this guy doing? He's an idiot. Yeah. He's an idiot or he wants to get caught.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Stealing the sandwich. Like, what are you doing?
Which might be both. I think he is an idiot and he wanted to get caught.
The thing that's crazy to me is they caught him not that far from where I live now.
Really?
He was just down in Galveston. Like when they with the sandwich thing. Right. I'm like, man, I was in Galveston not too long ago. Like, what kind of who are these people and why are they living all around me? Kind of makes you wonder. Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
Crazy people out there, man. Crazy people out there. Give you a glimpse
of society, I guess. Now, I kind of feel like I saved the best for last on the HBO TV shows, and I think you know what I'm going to bring up. If you haven't seen Game of Thrones, you should maybe tune out now.
Yeah.
Because we're going to talk about it. We have to talk about it. It's been plenty of time now, and the internet, if we're spoiling it for you, then you must not be on the internet because
you are like you're living in a cave somewhere and you just went into civilization and saw the podcast and started listening. Well, now's the time to stop listening.
I don't think I've ever been more angry at the end of a TV series than I was at the end of the last episode of Game of Thrones, because it would be as if they killed Daryl, if they killed everybody in The Walking Dead. I was like, accurate. There is no way that Jon Snow, like, what is going on right now? I don't understand. Like this, like, it just made me hate George R.R. Martin even more than I did. Like, he was kind of getting back on my good side because I was like, the red wedding really sucked, but the purple wedding, like, I was like, yeah, we got Joffrey finally. That was good.
And there's just as much Star Wars theories out there as there are Jon Snow.
There might be more Jon Snow theories. Honestly.
Yeah, honestly, they're probably competing.
In this last episode, Cersei kind of got what was coming to her, which was great in my opinion. Yeah. And then they just end the season. Like, it almost feels not like I haven't watched it except for the one time because it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel real to me.
My thing is, you have like this story that's centered around him. Like there's elements of the story that are like, this is Jon Snow. When he escapes from the White Walkers in that huge scene where they go
so good,
charging through the town or the little village.
Yeah.
I'm like, and he does that bit with the king.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why is there that interaction
when they're staring each other down and the king's kind of like, come at me, bro, kind of thing?
Right. And in my mind, when Jon Snow dies at the end, I go, why do that?
It was for nothing.
He's gonna die 3 episodes later.
Yeah, and in the episode time, he died like 3 hours later. It didn't like.
And so I honestly think something happens where Jon Snow comes back to life.
Well, as far as I understand it, and I have a hard time following this show for the most part. The redheaded chick that's always naked.
Right, yeah.
She's there, and from what I understand, she can resurrect people. So there's really no reason for her character to be there unless that's the reason that she's there. She's going to resurrect Jon Snow. Even if Jon Snow came back as a White Walker, that would be awesome. I just want Kit Harington. Just bring back Kit Harington, please.
I personally think if I had to make a bet, which I don't bet anymore based off of,
gambling habit.
Our bet that we made a couple summers ago.
Oh yeah.
Or October. I bet that Superman would make $1 billion, which it didn't.
And I laughed my way to the bank. Well, not the bank, but I was just like,
yeah. So I really, like, ever since then, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to bet on things anymore.
I don't even think Superman versus Batman is going to make $1 billion, to be honest with you. But if it was just a Batman movie, maybe. Superman's jaded at this point, man. He's done. He's done in this city.
I don't know. I think it's going to be a good movie. I'm excited about it.
This is one thing I don't understand about Game of Thrones. How the hell did the people that read the books, how did they keep that a secret as long as they did? I never heard even hints that, hey, in the books he dies at the end.
He's going to die, right?
That's the last book. We already know this. Like, it came out of complete left field for me. I was just like, what? Like, I was like, there's no way this was in the books because there would have been a public outcry. And then it turns out, no, basically it wasn't the end of the books. I think it was a little bit more vague in the end of in the book, but maybe, still, I mean, know. The thing that I liked the most, and I was listening to, I think it was on the other mics or something the other day, and they were talking about how the show is caught up to the books now.
Yeah. So nobody knows anything anymore.
And the people that have kind of been book hipsters, I would say, about Game of Thrones, we're like, we read the books, we already did it. Well, now we're all on even terms, and the show is going to be the one that that these people that will only read the books, they have to watch the show now to find out what's going to happen. Because as far as I can tell, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, George R. R. Martin's like, yeah, I don't got the next book, and I have no idea when it will be. So
yeah. Before we cut away from TV shows, I do want to say that I was really let down with the winter season finale of Walking Dead.
Oh, the mid-season break.
Yeah, that whole episode. I thought it could have been told in like 2 minutes. Like they drag it out for a full hour, and then it finally happens.
I can see that. I can see that, but overall, I think The Walking Dead is as good now as it, maybe not as it's ever been, but it's better than it was since before the prison.
No, I really do like it. I like it a lot, but I just thought the break was really boring.
Yeah,
I was like, come on, let's go.
It didn't end in a cliffhanger like we're used to. It, as a matter of fact, the cliffhanger was probably the episode before the mid-season finale,
where the wall crashes down. I mean that would have been a great.
Yeah, they should have left it there too. I don't know why they didn't, but because we're used to, in the past with the Sophia thing and who knows what else. But I've really liked The Walking Dead. For me, this season has kind of brought The Walking Dead back for me because it's just better. It's better than it has been in the past, in my opinion.
It's good. It's like generally right now, I know we probably said it over the course of our show, but I think it's ever more true today as it is ever that we are truly in the age of geek. I mean, you've got
there's no doubt about it.
So much quality out there. You've got great television shows. You've got great movies coming out.
Here's how I know that we're exactly this is the golden age of the geek right now. My littlest sister, I didn't know this honestly until this week, but for some reason she's quite a bit younger than me. She had never seen any of the Star Wars movies.
Wow.
She just hadn't. She kind of always, made fun of me in general because I'm
maybe saw you loving them and go,
I don't know if you guys know that I'm a fan, but She went and saw episode 7 with my mom because that's just what they do. They go see movies all the time. And she liked episode 7 so much that she went back and was like, okay, Mom, let's go back and let's watch all of them. And they sat down over a couple of days and watched the original 6 episodes. And it was so interesting talking to her and hearing her disposition change as far as it's one of those, Star Wars has always been for I think a lot of people, one of those things where you can't understand it until you've seen it and until you've not only seen it, but you've seen it where you feel it kind of thing. And she went through and she experienced the whole thing with, with the rise and fall of Anakin Skywalker and the Emperor and the Empire and everything like that. She saw the whole thing and then she went and saw episode 7 again. And then, then it was really cut into her feels when Han Solo bit the big one like he does. And, God, she just, she called me and she on Facebook, I shouldn't say she called me. She sent me a message on Facebook and was like, there's a little chat I have. And she's geeking out over Star Wars, talking about theories of who is Kylo Ren? Is he and
that's funny.
It's so funny. And and it's one of a million stories that I've heard. I feel like the new movie has reinvigorated and given a lot of people that in our generation that maybe didn't grow up with them, it gave them a chance to go back and kind of have a reason to watch the originals and then go, holy cow, this is like films. I mean, there are maybe some films that are better than some of the Star Wars movies, but as a whole, I mean, Star Wars, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinion, it is the best thing that humans have made as far as film goes. I mean, there's just the universe and the story doesn't get any better than that.
Dude, I'm excited. I'm excited to follow the numbers because I want it to beat Avatar. We've already beat it domestically.
Yeah.
I'm going to go see it tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing it for a fourth time. So I'm contributing to that. I honestly, I could see it making $1 billion domestically.
Yeah,
like it's already
I can too. It's already close.
770 million right now.
Yeah.
So it's only like 2.3 million, $230 million away from it, and we're only at, it's only been out for like 3 weeks.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the reason why it hasn't internationally taken over Avatar yet. It just came out in China today.
Yeah, it comes out today in China.
So we'll see what the China numbers posed. I mean, what do you think it's going to do there? You had to kind of, we kind of talked about it a little bit. What do you think?
We talked about it a little bit, and I honestly think, just looking at the numbers in terms of what comes out of China, the highest we've seen out of China is like maybe 500 million, and that's like the best that's ever been done.
Yeah.
The average is like 220. For the best movies. Like we're talking about like Jurassic World, Avatar, Furious 7. These movies that are just done okay. I think I'm trying to remember what movie did the best in China.
All I know is they're the second biggest market to North America.
Right.
To what we call domestic, they're the second biggest. So I wonder. This is my wonder. I mean, I don't know why they waited so long to release it in China. And knowing kind of how China is, I think a lot of the diehard fans over there have already seen it because you can get it over there.
The diehard, or the report that I read recently said that the pre-sale tickets were a little lukewarm, and that may be an indication of what they're going to see. I still think it's going to do over 200 million.
Yeah, I think it will too. But I think on the same hand, I think a lot of the people that were dying to see it have seen a pirated copy of it, so they might not go see it in the theater.
And that's the trouble with it, is
because they waited too long. I don't know why it didn't come out the same weekend.
Wait 3 weeks to release it. That's kind of a weird thing to do. Maybe Disney had a reason or whatever, but I honestly think it'll catch and surpass Avatar. And the reason I think this is, Avatar in 21 days, like Star Wars has been out for 21 days. Avatar in 21 days
did a fraction. If you look on box,
half of what Star Wars has done domestically.
No, it's way less than half, bro. Let me look. I was just looking at this last night on Box Office Mojo. Yeah. And if you look at let's see, where did it go? I just saw it. The 21 day total. Okay, so maybe it is almost half. Yeah, 21 day total. Star Wars is up to 770 million. Avatar at the 21 day mark was only up to 380. So it's like a little bit less than half, but it's monumental to think, wow,
this is going to keep rolling. Like I bought tickets today to go see it tomorrow.
Yeah.
In the theater. The theater that I went and saw it's like a 7:00 showing, and the theater's almost full.
Yeah.
It's like people are still going to see it.
That's crazy. And and it took Avatar 3 separate releases to get to where it was at in North America. Right. It got released 3 different times, a couple years apart.
Special edition, all this stuff. And like, I really think, it'll depend on how well Star Wars does in China. But I still think, even with China, the course of a movie's run, which like Avatar, it's total screen life or whatever was 238 days. The Avengers was 154. And that, I guess 238 days is part of its multi-releases. But you look at Avengers and you say 154 days. Let me assume that Star Wars will probably have a very similar life.
Yeah.
I think we're not even at a third of its life, know. It's still got 2/3 of the way to go, if not more. And I think it'll surpass Avatar. It'll be a little while, but it's not going to be, it's definitely not done.
What I thought was interesting is that the Avengers played on about 200 more screens.
Yeah, that's what's nuts.
Than Star Wars. I'm like, who didn't carry Star Wars? Like, I don't know. That's crazy to me that there was more Avengers available than Star Wars. But I thought I mean, when I went and saw Star Wars, it was like every screen they had in the theater.
I love going on to Box Office Mojo and seeing all the number ones, like number one, you know.
I love that website just because I like reading about all kinds of movies and like what they did.
Oh yeah.
For me, it's like Box Office Mojo and IMDb. Those are like the two places I'm
very
all the time.
Insightful.
Did you listen to any music this year? Any new albums?
No, not really.
I don't know if it's necessarily a guilty pleasure because this person can sing.
Go ahead and say it. Taylor Swift.
Adele's new album, dude. Holy moly. I'm not even fronting, dude.
Her song is super catchy, I'll admit it.
It's not even that it's catchy, bro. I mean, that song might be catchy, but if you listen to the whole album, like in my opinion, she is if there's ever going to be a modern day version of like what the Beatles kind of turned out to be, it's going to be her because she's got chops. Like she has very little actual music in her songs because her voice is the only instrument you need.
Right.
And she's, I mean, I'm like everybody else. I was singing out loud, but I even watched on TV. She played a concert on NBC or something like that they put on TV. And man, when you listen to her sing, man, she's got some pipes on her. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. Anna's a big Adele fan, and
we're in our household too, I would say. So, so that's fun. So let's. I know we talked about Star Wars last week, but hey, there's a new movie. We're probably going to talk about Star Wars every week.
I mean, this is going to come up over the course of the next ever.
Yeah, tell Rogue One, and then we'll start talking about Rogue One.
I mean, that's the reality of it. Is every year we're going to get a new one.
So there's a lot of like. There's a lot of like theories and stuff coming out, and I've been trying to stay away from that because I think I'm taking your position where I don't want to be overly spoiled for episode 8.
Yeah.
I kind of want, like if somebody, like I saw some stuff, there's some leaked plot details and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't want to see any of that. I want to just theorize kind of like how we've always done. And then I just want to be blown away when I actually go see the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the approach that I take with it. I don't like, I like to nibble. I don't want to eat.
Yeah. So last time we talked, you had only seen it in 3D, IMAX 3D, and then you saw it in the drive-in theater, and you've since seen it in just a regular 2D theater.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this is just how life goes, especially during Christmas time. We were running late, and my nephew picked the seat, so we were like in the third row. From the front. It was kind of painful. Like I enjoyed the movie, but like
you didn't catch all of Poe Dameron. Like you're just like, man, this guy's destroying everything.
I was like in my face, like in it. Fortunately, I'm going to Alamo tomorrow, and so I'll be able to really relax.
Okay, so let's talk about the difference in 2D and 3D once you've seen it at the Alamo Draft House, because it's for me. I mean, church was in session when I saw it at the Draft House.
Yeah, honestly, I still think seeing it in 3D in IMAX in the right seat, like I'm not saying like being in the front, I'm not saying being in the very back, but I was like probably in a large auditorium. I was probably about, I don't know, like 7 or 8 rows from the top.
Yeah.
And I usually don't go to the top row. I don't usually go to the top. I usually tend to gravitate towards the front. But for IMAX, I was like, I can go back a little bit because it's IMAX.
Yeah.
We're in the right seat. We're in a really good seat. And I generally don't like 3D. Anna hates 3D. And we both thought it was really decent in 3D.
I think I was, hindsight, maybe I was sitting a little too close to the screen for a 3D IMAX showing. I don't know. But I've been thinking about it a lot kind of ever since I saw it. And now that I've gone through the 5 stages of grieving, I've come around on Kylo Ren quite a bit. After the first time I saw it, I didn't like him, and I didn't like Adam Driver.
Right, and I mean, you were like, last episode, you're like, I hate that dude.
Yeah, I think he's a good villain, a goodish villain. I think he's going to be a great villain in the coming films, and I think Adam Driver is the perfect person to play him. And kind of seeing that movie, it made me kind of wonder about a couple of things. I think a lot of the reason people are having a hard time with him is because he killed Han. He's very ruthless kind of thing.
Right.
But I have a feeling that Vader was ruthless. Anakin was very ruthless as well. Just a lot of the things he was ruthless with obviously happened off screen. A couple examples. He killed all those kids. If they'd have shown him killing those kids, I think it would have
the same way.
It probably would have ruined the original trilogy for a lot of people. And so I wanted to ask you, Will, and I've kind of been dying to ask you this all week, is in that scene where Anakin kind of does his little force choke thing on Padme because he thinks that she brought Obi-Wan there to kill him, and that obviously wasn't the case at all. She didn't know he was on the ship. Had he instead, called her out and stabbed her through the heart with a red lightsaber, would that if he did something very similar to what Kylo Ren did, would that kind of change your opinion on Anakin and Darth Vader as like, okay, this guy is way too far gone?
No, like I think you're right. I think if he had done that to Padme, you definitely go, no, that guy is, he's horrible.
Well, the thing about it is he did do a lot of that stuff just probably after episode 3. It was probably just stuff off screen.
That's true.
I mean, you don't stay the Sith Lord that he is without doing some really bad.
It's hard not to really realize that until you really think about it in depth. I mean, it's the reality of it is Anakin went through and killed the Sand People.
Yeah.
He went through and killed all those kids. But you didn't
really have to see it. Yeah,
you don't see it, and so you don't comprehend how horrible it is.
Yeah.
You think about it, but you don't really understand it. Whereas I think you're right. Like if he had killed her, you'd be like, "Oh, this guy is."
You'd be like, "This guy's dead to me."
This is pure, horrible evil.
Yeah. Well, and it kind of helped too. The order that they came out. Like if we had, if Kylo Ren does have a redemption story, if we saw his redemption story before we saw kind of all the bad things he did, we might be singing a different tune. But I think that's what's brilliant about episode 7 is, we don't know where the series is going. Obviously it doesn't have to land anywhere. And it's, it's like, wow, this horrible thing happened and who knows where it's going to land next.
It's the reality of it is I don't care. I'm excited. Like it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
So like episode 8, episode 9,
I'm excited for the standoff too.
Well, it's just the reality of it is like we're talking about how well Star Wars The Force Awakens is doing, and it's doing amazing. Just think about how well those 2 follow-up movies are going to do. Because what you've essentially done in this movie is you've hooked a lot of people.
A lot of new viewers.
Everybody that watched the Star Wars The Force Awakens is going to go see the movie 8, episode 8, episode 9. Regardless.
Whereas with episode 1, maybe they weren't creating a whole. I mean, I'm sure they were creating some fans, but probably not a whole lot of fans. Whereas in The Force Awakens, they're creating a lot of new fans.
It's definitely set a precedence that I think is going to carry on for the next 10 years.
Right. I'm really excited and like I said, I'm really excited for the standalone films too, because while right now it seems that they're not connected or they're not going to be connected, I have a feeling that they're going to tie everything together.
I mean, a little bit.
Well, definitely. I mean, Rogue One's going to take place before episode 4. It's going to be the story about how they got this plans for the Death Star that Princess Leia ended up with in the beginning of A New Hope.
It totally sounds like just even the notion of like what it's about. It sounds like Seven Samurai meets kind of, a spy movie meets an action movie. So I'm like really excited about that.
Well, I have a feeling it's even going to fill in some of the details in episode 7. Like the guy at the very beginning of the movie that has Luke Skywalker's location. I have a feeling that Rogue One is going to be like, here's his story. And I wouldn't be surprised if they give backstory on Maz Kanata too. In Rogue One.
After watching it the third time, I realized that at first I thought Luke gave his location to that guy. That guy actually found it. It wasn't given to him, but still he's a crucial character in terms of, why is he looking for Luke? He's a friend,
Yeah. And I mean, obviously like Maz Kanata, she obviously knows Han Solo very well and is probably a part of his origin story. Well, she's probably a part of his origin story. And guess what the second standalone movie is? It's a Han Solo standalone film.
Right.
And I have a feeling we're going to get, when she says that's a story for another time, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of fill-in with these standalone movies, with all these side plots that they're starting, and I think it's great. I mean,
I love the web that is being drawn, connecting everything.
Yeah, it's really, really exciting. It's a really, really good time, especially for me. I'm sure you heard the news this week. I think we talked about it a little bit on Facebook. By the way, I'm basically all the stuff that I used to share on my personal Facebook page, I'm just going to start sharing it on the Geek Revolution Radio Facebook page because I figure that's the right place to talk about this kind of stuff. There was news. I posted this, I think, on our Facebook page, and you guys can jump in and join the conversation. But they're basically right now they're thinking about doing an Obi-Wan trilogy with Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited about it just because I love Ewan McGregor. I want to see it, but like a trilogy seems expensive.
Not for me, man. I'll take all the Obi-Wan I can get, especially Ewan McGregor, because obviously if they're going to do that, it's going to be between episodes 3 and 4.
Well, if they did a trilogy, I wonder if they wouldn't do it just in one space like that. I wonder if they would over the course of his life,
Maybe. I mean, I don't mind the flash forward and flashback thing, but I mean, I know Hayden Christensen, he's been in he lives in England, but he's been in California training, with some of the Disney folks for what people don't really know. So, I mean, if they're thinking about resurrecting Darth Vader and doing Obi-Wan and kind of, doing an Obi-Wan trilogy and sprinkling in some Darth Vader in between, man, that would be awesome. I would be all about that. And I love Ewan McGregor, and I love that the thing I like the most about Ewan McGregor, he's kind of the inverse of Harrison Ford, where he played a huge character in the Star Wars movies, and he's stoked about it still. He still loves the fact that he was Obi-Wan, and he will play Obi-Wan any chance he gets. As soon as it was brought up, I don't know if Disney ever actually asked him or has asked him yet, but it got brought up in the news, and some reporters asked him, would you come back and play Obi-Wan for a new trilogy? And he's like, heck yeah, I'm in. I'm going to do that for sure.
I'm all in.
Yeah, and he's an actor in his own right, kind of like Harrison Ford. He can do whatever movies he wants to do now. He's done a lot of movies. But he still, kind of respects and notices, hey, this is in a way what really put him on the map for a lot of us. And, he still respects it and likes it. On the other hand, I saw there was another thing where there's a petition that fans started to ask George Lucas to come back and do another episode of Star Wars. And I'm just like, man, it's done.
Thank you.
It's done.
I don't want that.
I don't think so.
I love what George Lucas has done. I will always be indebted to his work, what he's created. But I think he's already passed the torch. Why take it back?
Exactly. He's already made his mark on it, and I'm with you, Will. I'm with you and Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams, where he's the godfather. He's the guy. However, the baton has been passed. We obviously have other people doing it now, and it needs to stay that way, honestly. If George Lucas was to go back on his word and say, I want to do Star Wars again, I'd be like, I don't think so, man.
Here's a standalone movie for you.
Yeah, maybe okay, so there's a case. If he wanted to do a standalone film and they want to say, you do about whatever you want to do, let's see him tear it up. I mean, I wouldn't love a Jar Jar Binks standalone story, but I
don't know about that, man.
That's what he'd make, dude.
What's that?
That's the movie he'd make, right? He's still to this day defends Jar Jar Binks, and I'm like, man, you gotta, as long as you gotta just stop talking about it. We're all past it, man. We're trying.
Oh, man.
Anyway, it's been a good episode. We've been talking about an hour now. Should we get out of here for this week and save some stuff for next week?
I think that's the objective. I mean, we might run long from time to time, but we're going to try to keep it short, make people entertained. We don't want to bore you to death, because we can go on for hours.
We could totally do a 7-hour Star Wars episode. I could do it by myself. I don't even need Will. Will could come in and out of the conversation. I'll just stand here and just talk to myself, because that's all I do all day long. Anyway.
Put the microphone down, walk away, get some some food, and come back, and you're still going. Man, Star Wars is so awesome.
Yeah, it's so fun, guys. It's so good, right? Oh boy, but that's for me and my brain to think about. And honestly, I think the reason I started this podcast because I just wanted to talk about Star Wars with a bunch of people. But it happened to be at a time when there's a lot of other cool stuff to talk about. So next week, what do you think, Will? Should we do a Making a Murderer, True Detective kind of?
Yeah, let's
talk about crime.
Actually, see, here's my dilemma. Yeah, let's do true crime since you're teasing it now. We're gonna go over our schedule. I think the plan is to really put down a schedule where, we put out like 7 or 8 episodes and then take like a 3 or 4 week break.
Yeah. Do
7 more episodes, take a 3-week break. And so, because that's one of the things that like you realize when you're putting on a podcast, you realize how quickly you run out of things to talk about, and B, you just get burnt out. And so I think we want to do something for the fans. We want to, the reality is we do this for 2 reasons. One, like you just said, we love talking. We want to talk about the things that we're really passionate and enjoy. But 2, we want to entertain people. And so we've got we've got a game plan. I think people will really like it. So
yeah, I like doing it just because I like to let my geek flag fly. I mean, if any of you guys that know me in real life, this is no different than conversations we have in regular life. So might as well have some of it recorded for my kids or somebody to listen to something. Like, listen to this
like
guy.
Journal.
This guy talked about Star Wars for 3 years straight. Listen to this guy.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we got that coming down. I see that Will has also put Daredevil / Jessica Jones on our schedule. So that means I've got to watch Jessica Jones. So I've got to get to that.
Definitely. Jessica Jones was just as good. Well, like I'd say if Daredevil is like a 10, Jessica Jones is like an 8 or 9.
Good. I'm excited. I have been kind of wanting to watch it, but I've been saving it. So I'm going to hit that too. So
but seriously, tonight, go watch the first episode of Mr. Robot, dude. Right. Seriously.
Mr. Robot and then Jessica Jones. Got it.
Seriously.
Cool. And then Fargo. Okay, I got it. I got my lineup set.
You got some homework.
Yeah. Well, until next time, I'm Ryan.
I'm Will.
Live long and prosper, and may the force be with you always. Seriously. GeekRevolutionRadio.com.
You've been listening to Geek Revolution Radio, hosted by William Hatton and Ryan Bennett. For more information about Geek Revolution Radio, go to geekrevolutionradio.com. Feel free to interact with the show at facebook.com/geekrevolutionradio. The intro song is called What You Want. The credit song is Riptide. Both are composed by Kevin MacLeod, licensed under Creative Commons. The views and opinions expressed on Geek Revolution Radio are those of the panelists and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of our sponsors. Thank you for listening.